Live right now, we're preparing for the heavy metal detox cleanse. You got to have the book. It's critical. The details are in here about the cleanse, about what to have, how to do the cleanse. And we're going to cover it. We're going to talk about the preparations right here, right now. I'm actually really excited. We're live on YouTube, Facebook. We're live on TikTok, live on Clubhouse, right? What you're going to see for what you're seeing now in front of me, right? Frozen wild blueberries. I'm going to talk about if you can't get the frozen wild blueberries, other options, right? Spirulina, how critical that is, okay? Barley grass juice powder, really important, all right? Cilantro, another one right there. We're preparing for the heavy metal detox cleanse. It's going to start tomorrow, Dulse. So, Atlantic Dulse, okay? Celery, you guys see that? That's important. Bananas, you're afraid of bananas? Alternatives, papaya, alternative, mango, really important, okay? Oranges. If you don't like oranges and you're somebody that's like, oh, citrus doesn't work, we're going to do then some coconut water. But we're going to make the heavy metal detox smoothies all week for the next few days. We're preparing for the medical medium heavy metal detox cleanse. It's going to go for the next 3 days. Got to have the book. It's on sale right now. $16 plus some change. Amazon.com US. Make sure you get the book and have it. Try to run to the library if you can, if you don't have the money to get the book on sale. But the heavy metal detox cleanse is right in the book. So here it is. It's on page 179. I'm going to tell you guys the importance of this cleanse and what it has done. It has saved lives. Literally millions of people have been doing the medical medium heavy metal detox cleanse and smoothie around the world for years now. Millions, and they get their lives back. They beat anxiety because of it. They beat depression, depersonalization, bipolar, Parkinson's disease. They beat Wilson's disease. They beat eczema. They beat psoriasis. They beat conditions left and right, fatigue, and other conditions too. The heavy metal detox cleanse has not only saved so many lives, it's changed the way we heal in the world as of today. It's the most incredible thing you can do is a heavy metal detox cleanse. So if you guys are coming on and you missed just the beginning here, watch it from the beginning next time you can, or when the video is posted and over. But anyway, we're live on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Clubhouse, and I'm doing the preparations for the medical medium heavy metal detox cleanse. I am so excited. It's not even funny. So excited, you guys. Now, there are healing stories out there around the world about what the heavy metal detox cleanse has done. And it's remarkable about the children that have gotten their lives back, their health back, the children around the world. Mommies, children doing the heavy metal detox smoothies. It's legendary to getting people back on track and healing them. And that's what it's all about. That's so important. Okay, so we're live right now. We're preparing for the medical medium heavy metal detox cleanse. It's going to be tomorrow, the next day, and the next day. 3 days. That's what the cleanse is going to be. Got to have cleanse to heal. It's so important right here. It's on sale, Amazon US. Okay, 51% off. Okay, the medical medium cleanse to heal book. The details are in there on page 179. We're going to run through it all, and we're going to start doing it now too. Let's start running through it. Go to the bookstore, pick up the book, the Cleanse to Heal book. It's in bookstores around the world. If you can't afford it, even though it's on sale, go to the library. Okay, you can't wait. Amazing, Jennifer? Incredible. I'm so excited. So what do you need for this? That's the question right there, just off the running. What do you need for this cleanse? You need your cilantro. That's really important right there. You need your cilantro, so get that on the list. You need your dulse. A little bit of that Atlantic dulse, okay? If you can find that. You need your spirulina. Okay, that's the Vimergy spirulina. That's the best one that I use. It's the best one that I know exists out there. There's no other that touches that. But that's the one you want to try to find first. Okay, it's the Vimergy, V as in Victor, I, M as in Mary, ERGY. Vimergy.com. I'm not sponsored. It's just the best stuff. It's critical to have the best stuff. If you don't have the best stuff, you try your best. And we can still do some, we can still do some cleansing, but want to maximize it. It's about maximizing that cleanse Here's the barley grass juice powder right there. That's a Vimergy barley grass juice powder. Okay, so now if you can't get the frozen wild blueberries, these are not cultivated blueberries. So if you put cultivated blueberries in the cleanse, it's not going to do what it needs to do. So you may want to get a hold of the Wyman's juice right there. That's an option too. The Wyman's wild blueberry juice. Okay, that's at shop.wymans.com. So that's an option right there. I know that a lot of people are using this in their smoothie. They can't get the frozen wild blueberries. They're also doing both. They're putting this in the smoothie with their frozen wild black blueberries. So keep that in mind. That book is so amazing. Thank you. Thank you. This book is incredible. It's got the heavy metal detox cleanse. I've been waiting for a while to make sure we can do this. It's so fun. Crystal Clear says, yes, you do sponsor Vimergy. I am not sponsored by Vimergy. You're on their website. I know them, and I know lots of supplement companies that put out good stuff. They put me on the website because I allowed them to do that. I endorsed them, but I'm not being paid by them. I am not sponsored, just so you know. But I endorse companies is what I do. I endorse traditional medicinals, and that's what I do. So that's different. That means I approve of the product. So, and lots of companies, if they want me to be on their website, they have to call me up. And if their stuff is high quality, I'll be like, yeah, well, whatever, if it helps people. But yes, I'm not being paid. I'm not sponsored. But this book right here has the heavy metal detox cleanse in there. So important. And we're going to cover it. So what are we doing? Why are we doing this? Why are we getting metals out? Because it gets in the way with your life. It keeps us sick. It's so important to clean these out. Elena says, I thought you do the heavy metal detox with zeolite. You don't do the heavy metal detox with zeolite. The heavy metal detox smoothie is not with zeolite. Very important to know. If people are trying to create their own heavy metal detox smoothies and stuff, so there's imitators out there, because the medical medium heavy metal detox smoothie is famous. Millions of people around the world. If you look at the gold label on the medical medium books right here, okay? And it says millions of copies sold in the medical medium series all around the world. It's the #1 health books in the world right now, 6.5 years running. And there's a reason for that. The heavy metal detox cleanse has saved lives. And that's how important it is. Zeolite's not in the cleanse. Chlorella is not in the cleanse. Bentonite clay is not in the cleanse. Charcoal is not in the cleanse. Those disturbingly hurt people, okay? There's no zeolites today that there were of the yesteryear, okay? So that's important. And bentonite clay is actually dangerous. Charcoal is dangerous in the intestinal tract. It doesn't take out metals. That's important to know. Chlorella is dangerous because chlorella is riddled in bacteria. Most batches of chlorella, it's caused a lot of harm on people. People have literally had their guts torn apart because of it. And so I don't mess around with chlorella, and it doesn't remove toxic heavy metals. So that's important to know. So heavy metal detox smoothie works, and it's gentle, and it does because of what's in here. So that's important to know, right? The zeolites today, they're dusted with non-edible zeolites. That's why it's not good. So I don't recommend those at all as of today. So it's important to know. So we're talking about the heavy metal detox smoothie cleanse. This is preparation. I'm excited. This is a big deal today. Okay, so, and zeolites don't get metals out of the brain. They don't get metals out of the liver. Just so you know, chlorella doesn't get metals out of the brain, doesn't get metals out of the liver. Bentonite clay doesn't get metals out of the brain, doesn't get metals out of the liver. Charcoal doesn't get metals out of the brain, doesn't get metals out of the liver. There's a reason why the heavy metal detox smoothie medical medium one works, and how it's imitated constantly around the world by people trying to make their own brews, trying to actually... First of all, the reason why we know about removing toxic heavy metals is from medical medium information. So let's make that clear. That's so important to know, because you're going to hear about metals and what to do out there, but it all stems from medical medium information. Originally 35 years of helping get metals out of people's lives, out of their bodies, so people can heal. Information that toxic heavy metals cause psoriasis and eczema and brain fog. is medical medium information. Just medical medium information. Anybody using that originally got it from medical medium. So in order for us to know about anxiety even healing from metals, and depression healing from metals, and multiple sclerosis and ALS and brain fog, that's from medical medium information. So it's a legendary smoothie, a legendary information, including autism and ADHD. People, they have to realize, oh, I heard metals are behind ADHD. It originates and stems back to medical medium information as the original source and first source of all that information. So if you just got here and you're like, what is this? What does he do? Well, any medical medium stuff you'll see out there, you won't know it's medical medium because people have poached it so much. Sarah says, the smoothie has helped me so much. Been drinking for almost 3 years every morning. Incredible. And your story is so important. Post your story. You know, if it's IG, tag medical medium, hashtag medical medium, and tag at medical medium so I can see the story. I can see the post. I won't be able to see posts on IG, by the way, or stories on IG unless you do tag at medical medium and hashtag medical medium both. If you do that, then I'll be able to see the story and I will repost the story. I will repost the healing stories. I want to just thank everybody who's done the heavy metal detox smoothie and the heavy metal detox smoothie cleanse, the cleanse, and got their lives back and have spread that information out there by telling others about how it's helped them heal and move them forward. It's so important for that. And I'm so proud of anybody and everybody that's done the heavy metal detox cleanse. And I'm just really excited you guys are here. April Payne, good to see you. I see you commenting on YouTube periodically. You guys, I'm just proud of everybody. I want to say that. So we're doing preparation. That's what it's about. It's about alternatives to the Heavy Metal Detox Cleanse Challenge starts tomorrow. Make sure you have a copy of the book. Page 179 is the Heavy Metal Detox Cleanse. It's on page 179 in here. Critical to have the book, right? Amazon.com US, $16.99, right? 51% off. Or go to the library if you want and just get it for free from the library. Or go to a local bookstore, okay? Important to know. So that's where we're at right now. So let's go into this. Preparation. It's important. Do you guys like apples? Because apples are a good part of the cleanse. They don't go into the smoothie, but you want to have some apples. That's part of it. So you want to keep apples around. That's going to be something you need. Oranges is in the smoothie. So if someone doesn't like oranges, because I like putting an orange inside the smoothie, we can switch it up and we can do coconut water instead of the orange if you'd like, or water inside the smoothie. But the most important ingredients to the smoothie, okay, are the frozen wild blueberries. Now, I know that some people can't get the frozen wild blueberries right now because we're in that harvest time. They're harvesting wild blueberries right now. And so they will, and then eventually they'll get into the stores if you can't find any. Anthony, your information is healed my now 9-year-old daughter of her stage 4 EBV. Amazing, Desire. Good to thank you for being there. Or Desiree, thank you for being there. So proud. Allison, heavy metal detox smoothie has been life-changing for me. Calmed my brain down because it got the metals out. Does it work without orange on TikTok? That's a question. Yes, it does. It works without orange. So if you're somebody that's worried about oranges for some reason, okay, if you're worried about oranges in the smoothie, you can switch it up and you can do coconut water or water in there instead of orange. If you're somebody that doesn't like the bananas, because bananas are in the smoothie, if you're somebody that doesn't like the bananas, you can go with papaya. I got a papaya in my hand, you see, right? You can go with papaya, you guys. You can go with mango. You can go with frozen mango. I'm giving you all the options right now. If you do coconut water, don't do pink or red coconut water, and don't do a coconut water that has additives. Okay? So we're going over the ingredients. We are preparing. I am excited. If you guys stick around for the show now, it's going to be fun because after we talk about preparations and stuff and I answer a couple of questions, we're going to talk about metals. We're going to talk about copper. because everybody's playing around with copper these days, copper jewelry, copper mugs, copper thermoses. We're going to talk about how bad that is and how important this is to even know, right? Copper jewelry, we're going to talk about how bad that is. So that's important. Talk about other metals. The goal of the cleanse is to get metals out of our body because we're exposed to metals. We're loaded with metal. We have different types of metal inside of our brain. We don't just have one type of metal in our brain. We have aluminum in our brain. We have mercury in our brain. We have copper in our brain. Linda says, I can't access dulse at the moment. Any alternatives? I love the heavy metal detox smoothie. Been doing it for almost a year. Keep the dulse out then. And keep the other 4 in. If you can't access the dulse, right, you're still going to get a lot of metals out. It may not be perfect, but it's still good. And that's okay. That's all right. Keep the dulse out for now until you can get some. We're going to talk about the brain a little bit. Can I pass the 30? Beauty with Fatina says, can I pass the 30-minute mark? Sometimes I pass it because I'm busy doing something. Yes, of course you can. You can pass the 30-minute mark. All right. You guys just got on here. This is preparations for the Medical Medium Heavy Metal Detox Cleanse Challenge for the next 3 days. Today's just a preparation day right here. We're doing it live. Some quick preparation stuff. I'm excited. Make sure you have the book. Page 179, Heavy Metal Detox Cleanse is in here. It's on page 179. So important to know the details. I'm going to walk you through too as well. Amazon.com US. Make sure you get the book. It's 51% off. Loving Vimergy really stepped up my supplement game. Absolutely. The Vimergy products by far just step up the game like no one's business. Like no one can even believe. The difference is it's not like just night and day. It's make or break. It's make or break healing. That's the difference, right? The Vimergy spirulina is make or break healing. There is a difference, right? If you have to use another spirulina, use it. But if you can get a hold of Vimergy spirulina, that's the one. So preparations. Frozen wild blueberries, not cultivated blueberries for the Heavy Metal Detox Cleanse Challenge. Not Dino, good to see you. Not cultivated blueberries, the big blueberries, the cultivated ones. No, we're talking about the wild blueberries. Anna, the Heavy Metal Detox smoothie has helped me heal my debilitating migraines that I've had for over 25 years. You had heavy metal migraines. Mercury in the brain. Mercury in the brain. I actually have some mercury with me to demonstrate. You don't never want to touch mercury. You never want to play with mercury. You never want to mess around with mercury, right? But that's what people have in their brain. They have mercury. That's what they have in their brain. They have mercury in there. Migraines, ADHD, autism, depersonalization, depression, anxiety. Before we go into the heavy metal show, right? Because we're going to go into a little heavy metal talk. We're talking about preparing. Getting ready, preparing. Important to know right there. Let's go through the steps real quick. Do you have the Cleanse to Heal book, page 179, Heavy Metal Detox Cleanse? Do you have it? 51% off, Amazon.com US. Critical. Get it at the library if you can. Get it at the bookstore, local bookstore. Get it at Barnes & Noble, wherever you are, right? The sale, though, on Amazon US is incredible for that book specifically. Do you have your frozen wild blueberries? Don't use cultivated blueberries for this. If you don't have frozen wild blueberries, do you have a wild blueberry powder? That's the Vimergy one. V as in Victor, I, M as in Mary, ERGY.com. Do you have the wild blueberry powder if you don't have frozen wild blueberries? There's the wild blueberry juice, which is amazing because I use that with the frozen wild blueberries, and I'm going to do that in the next 3 days. I'm going to put the wild blueberry juice with the frozen wild blueberries, right? There's the Wyman's, right? That's the shop.wymans.com. That's where you get that. Giving you guys options. Really important. Okay? And you can do less of the dosages that I'm going to talk about. Do you have, we'll go into that in a second. Do you have cilantro? Let's go through the steps. Do you guys have cilantro? Do you have the Vimergy wild barley grass juice powder, right? Will this help with Lyme? So Nicole, here's how it works with Lyme. Lyme is viral and toxic heavy metals, mercury mostly. So when people have Lyme disease, they're high in mercury, whether it's caught on a blood test or not, because it gets in the brain. People get the mercury in the brain, okay? But yes, it's helped people with Lyme disease. So there are millions around the globe that have gotten their lives back using this powerful tool. Children, moms and their children, dads, grown-ups, kids, everybody, aunts, uncles, grandparents, people have gotten their lives back. Depression, anxiety, bipolar, fits of anger that just are not warranted, right? Fatigue, brain fog, Parkinson's, ALS, multiple sclerosis, Lyme disease, like you name it. Elena, I healed migraines too. I had daily 24-hour headaches for 1 year. I wanted to commit suicide. Couldn't take it. It was a really bad time of my life. And Elena, you got better. So proud of you. So back onto the steps. Barley grass juice powder. We got that. Last but not least, the seaweed, specifically Atlantic dulse. If you don't have the Atlantic dulse, we can still pull this off. Elena, heavy metal detox smoothie healed my daughter's eczema. And that is incredible. It's incredible. And there's thousands of that story of people healing their eczema and their children too. It's so incredible. It helped me. Haven't had a panic attack in 3 weeks. Depression is gone. Right on TikTok. Incredible. This is a special situation here. It's a special gift. It's a special gift, right? Because we didn't have any of that in the chronic illness community. We didn't have people getting rid of eczema. No one got rid of eczema years ago before medical meeting protocols. Everybody just stayed with their eczema and took all their steroids. No one got rid of these things. Severe depression, severe migraines. These are things that plagued people until they died, until they got older and died. Medical medium, heavy metal detox smoothie is part of what broke that cycle. This is such a big deal. It's the only thing in the chronic illness world that broke the cycle. Now there's imitators. They're doing a little this, some bentonite clay, some charcoal, some, whatever. There's some zeolite. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Chlorella never worked. Ashley, Ada, hello from SLO. The whole point is, you guys have to keep in mind, all right? People kept their symptoms. They never got rid of them all those years. People that poured into my office from around the world, they kept their symptoms until they learned how to do the heavy metal detox smoothie. So what we're doing, the heavy metal detox cleanse. If you just got on here, you guys, Lorraine L, good to see you. If you guys just got on here, we're talking about the heavy metal detox cleanse challenge in the next 3 days. I'm really excited. Really excited. So metals get in our way of our life. Depression, panic attacks, anxiety, neurological disorders, bipolar, OCD, Tourette's, tics, spasms, right? Depersonalization, okay? Parkinson's, Wilson's, even Addison's. I mean, the whole thing. Metals have been holding people back in ways no one can imagine. And so when people stumble across the medical medium information and they learn how to do that heavy metal detox smoothie or that medical medium heavy metal detox cleanse, it's not only just liberating, but it's not only just life-changing. It means everything to get rid of 20 years of migraines. It means everything to get rid of 20 years. Hey, somebody's sick for 20 minutes. It's really hard. We're live, Lorraine. But 20 years of eczema, 20 years of psoriasis, 20 years of depression, 20 years of anxiety, 20 years of Lyme disease. And the heavy metal detox smoothie has turned that around. The stories are incredible. The history of it so far is incredible. It's already proven it works. It's already proven better than any scientific study can ever prove in our history that it works. The scientific method is you do something over and over again in hopes to even get a partial result. Then How about millions around the world doing the heavy metal detox smoothie and the heavy metal detox cleanse, getting more than a partial result, getting a complete result? That beats out the scientific method. It beats out all of that. It's really, really special. That's not even a word that even equals or measures what it really is when someone gets their life back. You guys, I'm preparing you the next 3 days. Heavy Metal Detox Challenge. The cleanse is on. I'm pumped. Quinn says, my dad told me he used to play with Mercury, told me they passed it around in school. Yeah, and that gets passed around from generation to generation. When Mercury is in your system, it gets passed around from generation to generation to generation, right? Sperm and egg. Sperm and egg, that Mercury. Sperm and egg, that Mercury gets passed around, okay? It's that Mercury we play in our hands, gets in our system. But if you don't have to play with Mercury to have Mercury in your brain, it's in pharmaceuticals. Mercury, it's everywhere. It's in water. So yeah, so important to know. Let's go over it real quick. Let's get prepared. I got alternatives, you name it. So what do we need, you guys? Many of you guys know, many of you guys are doing it, and I'm proud of you. What do you need? You need the frozen wild blueberries. Not cultivated. If you don't have the frozen wild blueberries, someday they'll come back in your store. I know that we're in between harvests right now. They're harvesting right now. This year's crop is being harvested for the wild blueberries, for the future frozen wild blueberries that will be in your supermarkets. And you probably still have them in your supermarkets, but take a look and see if you find them, right? That's one thing you need, okay? If you don't have the frozen wild blueberries, do you have the Vimergy wild blueberry powder, which is an incredible product? Do you have that? So, do you have the wild blueberry powder? That can be used too. That's an option right there. And then there's the wild blueberry juice as an option if you don't have the frozen wild blueberries. All right? So that's Vimergy.com. Okay, Vimergy.com. V's and Victor, IMERGY.com. And they get spirulina too. And that's shop.wymans.com, right? The wild blueberry juice. Do you have the spirulina? That is a big part of it right there. So you need the wild blueberry. You got to have a form of wild blueberry in there. Okay? That's the spirulina. Got to have that, right? Got to have the barley grass juice powder right there. That's the Vimergy. Boom. Got to have the cilantro. Got to have the cilantro. Atlantic Dulse. If you don't have the Atlantic Dulse, if that's something that's hard to find and you can't get a hold of, we can still do this cleanse without the Atlantic Dulse. Giving you guys preparations. Okay, ready for this? Orange is in the cleanse. Orange is in the cleanse, right? If you don't like orange, you can go with coconut water that's not pink or plain water. Bananas are in the cleanse. If you don't like bananas, you can go with papaya. You can go with mango as alternatives. Okay? So make sure we know the alternatives. Do you have your apples ready? It's part of the Medical Medium Heavy Metal Detox Cleanse. Apples don't go in the smoothie, but they're in the cleanse. Right? You can do small amounts of everything if you're sensitive. You can do small amounts of blueberry, small amounts of cilantro, small amounts of spirulina, right? You can do a smoothie and do a smaller dosage of it, depending on who you are. If you're not used to eating, so much, or however, everybody's sensitive, we'll see, in different ways. If people are sensitive in different ways. You might be somebody that's really toxic, and so you don't have to do the full smoothie if you don't want to. RD, thank you so much. Anthony, I have a couple of family members who are allergic to fruits. So they're allergic to fruits and vitamin C. Would it still work without the wild blueberries? Wild blueberries are a critical aspect of it, right? You can try it without the wild blueberry, okay? And so you have some people in the family that they have an allergic reaction to, they don't have allergic reaction to natural vitamin C. So they don't have that, because no one can have an allergic reaction to the natural vitamin C. It's part of, you see, without if they're alive, that means they're getting vitamin C somewhere, a little vitamin C, because we die without vitamin C. That's important to know. If you don't have vitamin C, you die. That's why people on a ship out in the water too long without any vitamin C, they died before the ship made it to land. So if a long voyage, if there was a long voyage of men on a ship, men and women on a ship, right, and there was no vitamin C to be had, that would be a ghost ship. It would land in a port and everybody would be dead. Vitamin C is one of those make or breaks we stay alive or not. So they're not allergic to vitamin C. So that means the testing's inaccurate about vitamin C. And as far as fruits go, they could be allergic to fruit if they eat a piece of fruit and their throat closes up and they need the EpiPen, then yeah, they're allergic to fruit. Absolutely. But if that's not happening, are you just talking about a food allergy test, or are you talking about food sensitivity tests? Because those are just bonkers. Those are bonkers out there. I've actually been teaching about that to doctors too. There's so many doctors know now that those tests are just fraudulent. Those are fraudulent tests. Like, you go and get a test and you got 50 foods on the test and they tell you to not eat 10 different fruits or 20 different fruits on the test. That's actually a fraudulent test. Unless you're eating a banana and your throat closes up and you need an EpiPen and you're in the hospital, then yeah, you're allergic. You're allergic. But do what your doctor, have your family do what their doctor tells you. So you would want to keep the fruits out of the cleanse. That's what you're asking, right? So the only thing I can say is you could still do some spirulina, you can still do coconut water. Yes, you can still do it and get some benefits, absolutely. So what I would ask your doctor if it's okay, if you can do the spirulina, the barley grass juice powder, right? Ask your doctor if it's okay to do those. Ask your doctor if it's okay to do the cilantro. Ask your doctor if it's okay to do a little of the Atlantic dulse, right? And ask your doctor if it's okay to have some coconut water in there too, or water. You blend it up, and that's how you do it. That's what I would do for a family member if this was happening to them. That's how I would do it. So yeah, you can still do a portion of this cleanse without having the fruit, yes. Joan, do you all get the heavy metals tested periodically to see how you're progressing? It's going to be totally misconceived. It's going to be deceiving, Joan, when you have heavy metal testing, because in the organ is where the metals are. They're in the organ. Blood testing can't determine how much metal you have inside your brain tissue or your liver. All that can do is determine how much metal you have in your bloodstream, and still it is inaccurate. Because there could be more metal floating around in a different part of your bloodstream than the part they actually drew out of your arm in that moment to get the test. So testing for metals is really your symptoms. Depersonalization, anxiety, depression, bipolar, Tourette's, tics and spasms, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, right? Chronic fatigue, brain fog, multiple sclerosis, Lyme disease, ALS. That's your test. That's your test. Because all those go away when people are doing the medical medium heavy metal detox cleanse around the world. There's stories of people healing their Alzheimer's, stories of people healing all their problems, their memory problems, their bipolar, their schizophrenia, their depression, their anxiety, their depersonalization, their ALS, their Parkinson's. That's the test, not a blood test. Blood test is what? Just going to drain people more of their blood. So that's important to know. So you guys, we're doing preparations of the Heavy Metal Detox Cleanse Challenge. I'm excited about, can't say. Susan Blonda, my husband used to think that he was allergic to bananas. Oh my God, so many people think they're allergic to fruit and bananas. We switched to organic and it helped, but we realized that the banana was killing off the strep in his sinuses. So that was probably causing it. Fruit is a messenger. It does cleanse and kill out bugs, and it does cleanse out toxins. So it is a messenger. So that's what fruit is. It's a messenger. Let's talk about metals for a little bit. Let's just a little bit recap too on the book. Amazon.com US. Get the book. Have the book. Make sure it's there tomorrow, because the cleanse challenge starts tomorrow. Page 179, the Heavy Metal Detox Cleanse. Amazon.com US, 51% off, $16.99. Sarah, I used to have over 20 food allergies. Now I have none, thanks to medical medium information. Everyone needs to get the books to learn how to heal themselves. The heavy metal detox smoothie was integral to my healing. It's especially helpful to completely cure anxiety. Incredible. So glad you're here. This is an exciting time, you guys. I'm so pumped up about this. I can't even tell you. So where do we get metals? Let's do a quick rundown about that. Where do you get metals? Copper pipes. Restaurants. Restaurants with copper pipes. Okay? It's important to know. Restaurant water. You didn't get coffee in a restaurant before? Tap water has copper in it and mercury and toxic heavy metals and lead and arsenic. And then they run through copper pipes, right? That's one thing right there. We have copper in our body. So can we use kombu, other algae instead of dulse? No, I'd rather have you not use dulse at all if you're going to switch and use something else. I mean, kombu's okay, but it's not going to get the metals out. Kelp is okay, but it's not going to get the metals out. They're good seaweeds, right? But they're not going to get the metals out. So just, I wouldn't even bother. I would just keep it. If you can't get the dulse, then you don't have the dulse. Make sure you have everything else. So copper's a big one. If anybody has skin problems, like eczema, psoriasis, they have copper in their system. If anybody has any kind of neurological condition, there's copper in their brain, right? Stay away from copper thermoses, copper mugs, copper jewelry, right? Stay away from copper clothing, copper in clothing. That's all bad. Really, really bad. It's important to know there. So I got some copper here. Everybody has had food from metal pots and pans. In restaurants, they just scrape the bottom of the pots and pans like you can't even believe. You wouldn't believe the gouges and the metal pots in all the restaurants. Restaurants around the world with their big cooking pots scrape. You see the bottom of the pots and the lines in there and the grooves and the scrapes. The amount of metal people get from cooking is off the charts, right? Off the charts. It's a little bit. Insect killer, right? Insect killer. Anybody who's had bug spray in their house, they still are breathing in toxic heavy metals, even if it was 5 years ago. Insect killer is a big one right there. Pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, but insect killer in the house, that's a big thing right there. You got metals in you that never leave. Dental work. Dental work right there, okay? Fluoride treatments. The metal stays in your brain and your liver, causes problems, short circuits the central nervous system. Yep, Cold White Spring says I don't kill insects. Smart move, smart move. Good to see you. We got, great, glad you're here, Cold White Spring. We got braces people have had, right? Any kind of dental work, implants. And it's okay if somebody has implants. We can't avoid metal all the time, but we have to get the metal that's floating around in our body and going into our brain and organs. We have to get that out. So if you had dental work, or you got nuts and bolts holding your knee together, if you got nuts and bolts holding your hip or your foot together, that's okay, but we still have to get the residue that leaches out. We have to get that out, right? Dental work is a place where there's metals. Even ceramic fillings. Even non-metal fillings have metal in them. Every single composite, every single dental composite has a form of metal in it, by the way. Small amounts, but they're in there. So dental work, we all get metal from dental work. And the fluoride treatment, that's a big one right there. So I'm giving you guys the rundown really quick. Perfumes, colognes. Bam, boom, bam. You don't need to use it to get the metals. You just need to smell it. You need to smell it. Yep. Someone hating the taste of cilantro is high in metals, by the way. I want to give that little piece of information out there. But you just need to smell it. Yeah. Dino, mosquitoes, talking about mosquitoes. They mosquito spray everywhere on the planet. Did you guys know that? Helicopters drop mosquito spray at night all over the planet. Everybody's breathing in mosquito spray. Kelsey Bach. Kelsey, what's up? 50 symptoms, you got better. Good to see you. I know you comment on YouTube a lot. The Heavy Metal Detox Smoothie saved my career as a massage therapist. Incredible. Can't massage with severe eczema on the hands. I'm so proud of you. I can't even tell you. So proud of you. Breathing in the perfume and the cologne, you're getting metals. Air fresheners filled with metals. Scented candles, right? Scented candles filled with metals. Scented candles. Metals. How much tuna have you guys had? That's what I want to know. How much tuna? Right? How much tuna have you guys been eating all these years? Yeah. Filled with mercury. That's right. Not to mention you're in the can. You're in the can right there. Okay? And if anybody says, oh, the liners protect you, that's not true. Why do you think you still taste metal when you're eating out of cans? People still swear by it. They taste metal because the liners always leak. Right? So that's where we get them too. Pencils. Someone's going to say, oh, I got them. I got them. Because there's no lead in pencils anymore. Right? It's graphite. It's graphite. How many people, though, bite the eraser and bite the aluminum piece at the end? How many people? Guess what? I know so many people over the years that bite their, they bite their pencil ends, even if it was 20 years ago. They ground that aluminum. They got it right in their system. Okay? You just touch those ends with all that aluminum. Deodorant. You telling me you never used a conventional deodorant before? Anybody? Right? Medications. Medications. Any medication. Antibiotics are loaded with toxic heavy metals. Loaded. Oil. Right? Anytime you've ever eaten out of it, used it, touched it. I'm touching it now. But the thing is I do the Heavy Metal Detox Smoothie for life. So I'm okay if a little gets in there because some is going to get in there somewhere. But how much aluminum do you have inside of you, right? Fish oil. That's a pretty fish oil bottle right there. I had to cover up the brand. Yep. Fish oil. Right? How much fish oil have you guys tried trying to get better? Your doctor told you to do fish oil. Someone told you to do fish oil. How much fish oil have you guys done? I'm sure you guys have tried the fish oil. That's loaded with methyl mercury. All the fish oil. And this stuff keeps us sick and it keeps us down for a long time. Man, that metal builds up. It keeps us down for a long, long, long time. Medications, right? How about soda? Who's drinking off the aluminum cans? Had to hide the brand again. Who's drinking off the aluminum cans? You're just sucking off the top of there. And then the fluid from inside the can gets on the lid in there as you're drinking it, starts to dissolve that aluminum really quick. So just in the course of you sipping and enjoying a beverage, you're getting so much aluminum poisoning you couldn't even believe it. It's off the charts. Not to mention the liner. The fraudulent liner breaks down in all the cans. And a lot of cans don't even have a liner, by the way. Don't even have a liner. When your can gets cold, it constricts, right? And when it constricts, the liner breaks. When your can gets warm from you holding it outside, it expands, the liner breaks. Liners they're not even doing anything inside these. So this is all important information. And these are just some of the places we get metals. And then the metals end up inside the liver, but they end up inside every single organ inside the body. And they end up inside the brain. And then you get that sadness you just can't put your finger on. And then someone's going to tell you it's because you died in 1854 and that was a past life and you were Queen Victoria and you had your head chopped off. Someone's going to say you were in some kind of like battle in 1604 or in 800 AD. Someone's going to say you were, and that's what they're going to say because you can't pinpoint that depression and sadness. So you're going to be looking for all these answers because medical research and science is not going to know why you're sick with depression. and anxiety and sadness you can't explain. It's toxic heavy metals that sit in there. How many people have been they just don't know. And the metals are inside their brain causing problems. Then they oxidize. And then we eat the high-fat diet. So then we eat food. And then we eat food and we accelerate the metals. They start to break down and oxidize. And we eat food that breaks them down and oxidizes. If you guys just came on here, you got to watch the video from the beginning. We're talking about the Heavy Metal Detox Cleanse Challenge. It's going for the next 3 days. I'm excited about it, okay? You got to have a few things. You got to have the Cleanse to Heal book. It's on page 179, the Heavy Metal Detox Cleanse. This is for free. Doing this for free, you guys. I'm not taking it to a private platform and charging. Doing it for free. I know someone's going to pop on here and be like, what's he talking about? You know? But yeah, got to have the things you need. So how much sushi have you guys done? All the mercury from the fish. How much sushi have you done? Gets into the brain. That's what it does. Tanya, blows my mind how much of these products I've used innocently. I've struggled with fatigue and depression forever. No wonder we are all getting sick. Metals play a huge role. And guess what? People around the globe are getting their lives back and they're healing, you guys. On TikTok, they're healing. You guys, they're healing. Facebook, YouTube, people are healing around the world with this information. It's legendary, the Heavy Metal Detox Smoothie. People are imitating it. People are talking about it in stores and juice bars around the world, in restaurants. The Heavy Metal Detox Smoothie has changed lives. It's incredible. Carrie says, battling depression for years. I'm healing again. Amazing, Carrie. Because when you're doing the Heavy Metal Detox Cleanse, you're doing the Heavy Metal Detox Smoothie, you're getting metals out of the brain. That's why depression goes away. That's unexplainable depression. I'm not talking about depression from a horrible loss or a sad situation that happened, a terrible loss and struggle, emotional struggle. I'm talking about depression that's debilitating, taking you out when there isn't such a thing. Pamela says, I feel so tricked about fish oil. Oh my God. Pamela, I'll during the cleanse, I'll go through it big time about the fish oil. It's so bad. I've been told if you have depression, your brain needs more and more fish oil. That's horrifying. Horrifying. That will take you to a place of Alzheimer's down the road. So then when you're 75 years old and you got Alzheimer's, the doctors told you to do more and more fish oil, more and more fish oil. You know, alternative doctors, you name it. So sad. What about the things... Sorry, I'm trying to read the comments, you guys. What about the fillings in my mouth? The Heavy Metal Detox works. So here's how it works. If the fillings are leaching, the Heavy Metal Detox Smoothie and Cleanse helps to get that product, that byproduct out that's leaching, right? So when you got the mercury, right? It's important to so when you get the mercury in your teeth, right? Okay? That mercury is leaching, yeah. And so what I tell people, if you got a mercury filling, it doesn't mean you have to get the mercury filling dug out if it's in perfect condition or it's in good condition, right? You can keep the mercury filling in there, but what you're doing is you're getting rid of, when you're doing the Heavy Metal Detox Smoothie and Cleanse, you're getting rid of byproduct that's leaching from the fillings. So the byproduct, okay, in your bloodstream and then goes to your brain and all that, you're cleaning up all that mercury is what you're doing. If you are to remove mercury fillings, I always say do one at a time. And I don't recommend taking them out unless they're broken or denatured or about to pop out or you got a cracked, injured tooth and they have to do it anyway, you know? Because they dig out the mercury and then you got more mercury, you better be on the Heavy Metal Detox Smoothie if that's the case. But yeah, so that mercury gets in the brain. That's what it does. It gets in the brain. That's what it does. So we're doing the Medical Medium Heavy Metal Detox Cleanse Challenge the next 3 days. I'm trying to read comments, I'm multitasking a little bit, trying to hear Spirit of Compassion at the same time, and try to talk about the Medical Medium Detox Cleanse. which is safe for children. I recommend it to children in my family. I recommend pregnant women that are in my friends and family, people that I know. I recommend the heavy metal detox cleanse for breastfeeding. You ask your doctor what's right for you. So I just recommend that for my friends and family, but you can ask your doctor what's right for you. If your doctor tells you not to do it, don't do it. Julie Haggerty says it went from 36 debilitating symptoms down to 4 from the heavy metal detox. God bless you. Celery juice and medical meeting protocol. So grateful. And you know what's so sad? There's so many people that be like, don't do the medical medium stuff. You know, do this and do chlorella, do charcoal. Oh my God, it's horrible. Do bentonite clay. No, don't do those. You know, it's amazing how much misinformation out there. You know what's incredible? I spent 35 years teaching about toxic heavy metals. It's why we even talk about it today, right? So, and nobody knew toxic heavy metals was behind one symptom or condition. Did you guys know that? They didn't know it was behind one symptom or condition. Medical Medium put the information out there about which symptoms and conditions, like eczema and brain fog, that's from toxic heavy metals. They thought brain fog was from not being happy. Did you know that? Just recently, in the last 10 years, doctors put out books and PhDs put out books and said, your brain fog is from not being happy. Unbelievable. I got very sick after removing my fillings. Yeah, that's why I tell people you got to do one at a time if you ever do, or don't do it at all unless they're broken and they need to come out or something's wrong. But that's why it's so important to do the heavy metal detox cleanse, to clean that out. That's the whole thing, to get all that stuff out. And if you're getting fillings out, space them out with enough time. I talk about that in the Medical Medium books. So what's the goal? The goal is, if you're not even experiencing a symptom, the goal is to get the metals out so you never experience a symptom. The goal is to get the metals out if you're experiencing symptoms too. IP1 says, I got 11 mercury fillings that were buried underneath old caps out in the last 5 years. Now I'm dealing with eczema, dermatitis, and psoriasis. You also have copper in your system too. Copper as well. And that's here. I highly recommend avoid copper products, copper thermoses, copper mugs, copper jewelry, copper clothing. Highly recommend it. It's toxic and you're being totally screwed over. I highly recommend you avoid fish oil with everything you got. This stuff is methyl mercury. It's the homeopathic version of mercury. It's worse than eating fish. I highly recommend you don't do bentonite clay and zeolite and charcoal. Highly recommend you avoid. I know some of you say, no, there's good literature and data on copper thermoses and copper being good for you. You're wrong. You're being misled by that data. Copper is so toxic, right, that it does kill a certain amoeba that was in water that caused dysentery thousands of years ago. So they used to put water, because they didn't have access to water thousands of years ago. So they used, in many cultures, they didn't have access to water, clean, fresh running water. So in order to keep water still, meaning without it going real rancid, they used to put it in big copper vaults, right? To keep the water, so that the copper would poison any kind of critter in there, like any kind of big parasite or amoeba. It was really amoebas. Amoebas don't like copper. But at the same time, the people poisoned themselves by drinking that water, but yet they needed water, so they had to drink the copper poison. You don't have to drink copper poison. Why are you being tricked to drink copper poisonous water now? You can find water without amoebas in it. It was a survival tactic thousands of years ago. Doesn't mean if you need to do it now. Why do you have to poison yourselves with copper mugs and stuff? Like, why do you have to poison yourself with copper with copper mugs and everything, right? Like, let me just drink out of a copper mug because I want to be like it's 3,000 years ago when they didn't have any fresh water and they all got copper poisoning so they wouldn't die from an amoeba. That's not your life now. You can get water and not have an amoeba in that water, and you can avoid the copper poisoning. That shortened everybody's life. Yeah, they were able to drink a little bit more water, but they also died young because of the copper poisoning. So why are we doing the copper stuff? My God, if you guys, the one thing you're going to get with medical meme information, you're just going to get like it is straight, and you're going to realize how much BS is out there constantly. And you're going to realize how misled you are and how much misinformation is out there. It's so sad. Let's go over the basics. We're just talking about metals, how we get metals. So how do we get metals? Aluminum byproduct, fluoride, that's one. Deodorant, that's another. Aluminum foil, restaurant food, right? Aluminum pots and pans in restaurants. We're loaded with metals, you guys. It's one big part of why we're sick. Soda cans, beverages, metal, right? Aluminum, right? Medications. Every medication's got aluminum in it and other metals in it, including mercury, right? We got that. Perfumes, colognes, fish oil, giving you guys the rundown. Boom, boom, boom. Fluoride treatments, dental work, implants, composites of any kind, even if they're not mercury, they still got metals in them, right? Cooking utensils, cooking products. It doesn't mean you avoid every last one of these. It just means that we have metal and it builds up and we got to get it out, right? There you go. And these are just some of the things. Tattoos. A huge way everybody's got so much metal in them is tattoo ink. There is no heavy metal free tattoo ink. Newsflash for everybody, for all the dudes getting all those sleeves done, all the dudes, and all the girls getting sleeves done and getting tattoos and getting writings and tattoos written across the ribs, and that's not heavy metal detox free. That's not heavy metal free. Vegan ink is not heavy metal free. It's loaded with toxic heavy metals. Loaded. And when you get that depression when you're 40 years old after you got your 10th tattoo when you were 20, and that depression starts kicking in and that eczema psoriasis starts kicking in, you're 38 years old and now you're on steroids and every other drug, you don't know. And that's okay. Let's get it out. You can still keep your ink and get the metals out of your organs. Metals is how the tattoo ink pops. You can't see the tattoo ink clear unless light reflects against metal. Your vegan ink is loaded with toxic heavy metals. That's how you can see the tattoo. It's from the light popping it. The light has to reflect off the metal. If you don't have metal in the ink in your so-called natural vegan toxic-free ink, if you don't have metal in that ink, you won't be able to see your tattoo. You're loaded with toxic heavy metals. You're loaded with toxic heavy metals. That's okay. You can have your ink. Let's get the metals out of your bloodstream, of course, out of your brain, your liver, and your organs. We're talking about the heavy metal detox cleanse. Here we are, preparing everybody right now. You need the Cleanse to Heal book. It's page 179. It's a heavy metal detox cleanse. We're doing the heavy metal detox 3-day cleanse challenge starting tomorrow. This is preparations, you guys. Good to see you. And I'm glad you're here. I'm pumped. I'm excited about this. I can't even tell you how excited I am. Suzanne, it keeps freezing? Of course it does. Is that Facebook that keeps freezing? Yeah, it's Facebook that keeps freezing. Yeah, Facebook and Insta, they just freeze everybody out and kick everybody off. All right. But I still want to do this on social media. I mean, I could take it to a private platform and have you guys sign up, but us doing this. And we might do that, but I'm not going to charge. It's always free. I am going to get better. Do they come out with laser removal? It doesn't mean you have to do you have to remove tattoos to get the metal out. You have to be proactive in getting the metals out of your brain. You can get your tattoos lasered off, but you're going to still have all the ink, the metal in your organs. And the laser doesn't remove the metals. It doesn't remove the metals in your skin. It's going to still be in there. The laser just makes the tattoo disappear over time. But the metals, though, they disperse, and they're still going to be deep within the derma, pushed down deep in the derma. The point is, it's okay if you have tattoos. You just have to clean the metals out of the brain where the tattoo ink eventually disappears. What happens is, Over time, the tattoo ink leaches metals and gets to your brain every single day. From the first day you got it into your bloodstream when they did it. And it's okay. But we're doing the medical medium 3-day heavy metal cleanse challenge. I'm pumped. What do you guys have? Are you guys ready? Do you have your frozen wild blueberries? Boom. Don't use cultivated blueberries. If you can't get frozen wild blueberries, make sure you have your Vimergy wild blueberry powder. I'm not sponsored by these guys. It's just an incredible product. So you got your wild blueberry powder right there. Got that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the Wyman's wild blueberry juice. I'm going to put that in there. You guys know I work with Wyman's. Incredible product. It's to make sure this product stays around. It's unbelievable. That's at shop.wymans.com. Carol, I was experiencing panic attacks for no reason. Started doing the heavy metal detox and panic attacks are gone. Depression gone. Sleeping well at night. Healed so much. That is better. That is better than science itself. Science research doesn't know that metals cause those symptoms. And it's medical meme information, right? But you got rid of those symptoms with medical meme information. It's incredible. And it outbeats science because it's you proved it right there. And it's really remarkable, all of it. So you guys, I'm excited about the Cleanse Challenge. I'm hoping you guys join. Make sure you have your book. Page 179, Amazon.com US, $16.99. Take advantage of that 51% off sale right there. Go to your bookstore, look at it, look for it in the library. If you can grab a copy in the library. I know the waiting list is rough in there, so I don't think you're going to get one in time. And make sure you know what you're getting. Make sure you get the spirulina. You got that. Make sure you got the barley grass juice powder. Make sure you got your cilantro. Dulse, if you can find it. I'm putting wild blueberry juice. Here's wild blueberry powder from Vimergy. I'm putting wild blueberry juice in mine. It's not barley grass. It's barley grass juice powder, you guys. And we ran over some of the places where we get the metals. We talked about some of the symptoms and diseases that metals cause. We talked about the brain a little bit. And we are going to be doing it. I am pumped up. Can't wait. Was listening to you and CH, happy I found you on Facebook. Wow, incredible. You were on Clubhouse and now you're incredible. Glad you're here. You guys, I'm heading off to IG. If you get kicked off of IG, go to TikTok if you can. I'm on Clubhouse too later as at the same time as IG, and I'll be on TikTok. So I'll be on TikTok Live, Clubhouse Live, and IG Live all at once. If you catch me on IG and the powers that be at IG allow you to be on for more than 30 seconds before kicking you off, that's amazing. If you're kicked off, go to TikTok or pop on Clubhouse to listen. Sarah, I've been doing the heavy metal detox smoothie every day for 5.5 years. Whoa. Can't imagine life without it. You know, I want to add to this point. So many people, they go off of it for a little while and they have to run back to it because they feel the difference. Like say people are traveling and they don't have access to everything, and they're traveling and they don't have access to heavy metal detox smoothie, right? And then, man, they all of a sudden get back on it and they're like, thank God, because now I can feel better. Now I'm feeling like I'm moving forward, and you can feel the difference. I see that all the time out there. Guys, share your stories. Let people know. Share your stories, you know, so they don't get fooled by imitators with all the bad stuff that hurts people. Hashtag medical medium, and also tag at medical medium if you do a story out there so that I can see it. I can't see it unless you tag at medical medium and hashtag it as well. And if you guys are sensitive because you're really toxic, you do 4 ounces of the smoothie. Start with that and you build yourself up. Either way, we're doing the heavy metal detox cleanse tomorrow. Challenge starts. I'll see you guys on IG in about 15 minutes. Can't wait. Love you guys. Heading over there now. And I'm going to turn Clubhouse and TikTok back on.